Let's now focus, ladies and gentlemen, on the debate or subject matter for debate number 1 today. And this is around the Places of Worship Act 1991, the POW Act, and reclaiming lost Hindu pride. Now, after Ayodhya and Ram Janmabhoomi, the spotlight is on the Gyanvapi Parisar Kashi and, of course, the Krishna Janmabhoomi in Mathura. While a Varanasi court has postponed the hearing on the opening of the ASI report, that 1000-page docket, and making it public, this matter has now been posted for the 3rd of January in the Gyanvapi complex. The Allahabad High Court has said that the Gyanvapi complex is barred from the 1991 Places of Worship Act. It says it is separate. The court has in its order said that they cannot call the Gyanvapi complex a temple or a mosque unless the Varanasi court actually determines the original religious character. Now, this order has reignited this entire Places of Worship Act debate. The Hindu side has always claimed that this act is draconian and needs to go. They have also claimed that the act violates the principle of secularism as it shows preference to one religious community. The law is directed towards one particular religious community in Bharat. And the choice of cut-off date of 15th August 1947 in the act is also arbitrary. It adversely impacts Hindus, Sikhs, Jains and Buddhists. Also, ladies and gentlemen, some interesting aspects come to the fore because the act actually bars or omits the erstwhile state of Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh. Now, all that also has to change. The word religious character has not been defined. Worship is associated with only one particular community. Can worship be equated to other communities which do not believe in worship but believe only in prayer? These are all aspects which perhaps point towards or urge a rethink. Two observations, two developments in the courts of our country. Article 370 abrogation being upheld by the Supreme Court and the order passed by the Allahabad High Court. So this 1991 Places of Worship Act, does the court order urge a rethink?
Hello, Moto.
Hari Shankar Jain ji, lawyer from the Hindu Paksh in the Gyanvapi matter, also somebody who is a plaintiff, who's also filed a petition in the Honorable Supreme Court against the Places of Worship Act 1991 with us. Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP with us. Rashid Sharif, president of the SIMPLB with us. Neeraj Atri, author with us. He's also an academician. He's a teacher himself. And Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, also with us. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. First up to you, Hari Shankar Jain ji. Is there a rethink necessary of the POW Act 1991, Hari Shankar Jain ji, given the grounds that now present themselves based on the recent developments?
Kindly read the entire act, and I request to all the persons who are interested to are fighting for justice from this side or that side to carefully read the act itself. The act is not embargo for filing suits, number one. Number two, under the act itself, the religious character of the building, certainly as it was originally, has to be seen. Without that, the religious character cannot be determined. Number three, you cannot convert a thing from this thing to that thing. But once it was either a temple prior in time or a mosque prior in time, that will prevail. Because Ishwar Allah cannot overpower the place of other. Kindly consider, if a temple was constructed, and after demolishing the temple, some structure is raised or Muslim occupy that place. It will put a question whether it is mosque. For mosque, you may remember two things, that it must belong to Waqif, and the real person who is the owner must create a waqf on that property. Point number three, kindly have this. Hindu law is very clear. Once a Hindu temple is there, it will be Hindu temple forever. The concept of temple from particular place cannot be deterred, cannot be vanished, even if it is destroyed or damaged by any person. Hindu law is very clear. If we prove that initially a particular place was a temple whatever the construction has been raised later on, that is ultra vires, that is unconstitutional, and that is nothing but the usurpers are the unauthorized position, and that unauthorized position cannot be validated by any law. Third point, you say, and Mr. Atikur Rahman, who is here, I admire him very openly. He says, and other Maulana says, if it is proved that if a so-called mosque or alleged mosque is constructed after demolishing a Hindu temple, we will not claim that. But once time comes to prove that it was a temple, then they say place of worship act. And unnecessary, it will create turmoil, it will create communal harmony, disharmony. What is this nonsense? Kindly have the courage to face and say that no point of time it was a temple. And if we have approached the court for appropriate decision to establish that it was a Hindu temple, then from one reason or the other, you say no, even the report should not be seen, even the report should not be read, or it should not come in public eyes, because you know the real thing will come out, and it proved that on the plinth of temple, this so-called structure has been created, this Gyanvapi Mosque. And third, the Gyanvapi. How it can be Gyanvapi? Gyanvapi is a Hindu word, it is a Sanskrit word, and it was the well of knowledge created by Lord Shiva himself. These are contradictory stands which has been taken by so-called secular persons as well as Muslims. I request and pray to all that before going anywhere, kindly read POW Act very minutely and also define the word mosque. What is a mosque? What is a temple? And the Hindu law and the Muslim law, kindly read both the laws. And once Hindu law says that it was a temple, that it will remain as a temple. I have said in Ajodhya case. In Ajodhya case, and the 5 judges have held that once a temple, it will always be a temple. And even if it is destroyed or removed, that will not remove the purpose for which the commitment which was taken and the vow which was taken and the spirituality, the divinity of that place that will continue. That is very clear. Very, very clear. You want to dilute all the laws, all the things, and say one thing, place of worship act, place of worship act. Place of worship act is not to cover up your sins, your atrocities, your inhuman actions committed in the past. It was not only, it is not a blunder, but it was a sin, and atrocities inhuman action cannot be condoned at all. Therefore, we have taken a path of justice, we have moved the court, and everything will come out. After the report is submitted and it will be opened, everything will come out. And face the court. Why your side?
Hari Shankar Jain ji, let Mr. Rashid Sharif and Mr. Atikur Rahman respond. Rashid Sharif ji.
जी बोलिए सर. हाँ सुन रहा था मैं जैन साहब को.
हाँ
सर मैं उर्दू में बोल सकता हूँ.
हाँ बोलिए ना, हिंदी उर्दू में बोलिए.
जी सर बिल्कुल सर. मैं अभी सुन रहा था जैन साहब को. सर ये लोग है सो बाबरी मस्जिद के बारे में भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट को धोखा दिए सो वाले हैं. यहाँ पे आप देखे, आप ऑलरेडी जब बाबरी मस्जिद का जब फैसला आया है, बाबरी मस्जिद को लोग एफिडेविट दिए हुए हैं, उसके बावजूद भी बाबरी मस्जिद का कत्ल होता है. तकरीबन पूरे मुसलमान है सो इसी इंतजार में थे कि हमारे साथ कोर्ट है सो इंसाफ करेगा. उस वक्त के प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब जो नरसिम्हा राव साहब थे, उन्होंने खुद टीवी पे आके बोले थे कि इमीडिएट बनाएंगे मस्जिद. 7 दिन तक कोई एक्शन हुआ नहीं ये लोगों के. इस तरीके से सर एक जब हो गया 1991 में एक मस्जिद हमारी शहीद हो गई, तो उस पे है सो ताजा हम आज तक हर मुसलमान, हर हिंदू जो सेकुलर है, उनको भी एक तकलीफ इस बात की कि मैं आपको एक हमारे आमिर साहब जो थे सर, उनका इंतकाल हैदराबाद में हुआ. जो पहला हथौड़ा बाबरी मस्जिद लगाने पे उनका काम जो था, उसके बाद है सो उन्होंने इस्लाम कबूल करके 100 मसाजिद बनाए उन्होंने। ये खुदा का घर है सर, इससे है सो सबको परहेज करना चाहिए। मैं उनके मंदिर की इज्जत करना, उन्होंने हमारे मस्जिद की इज्जत करना। अगर इसी तरीके से आप अगर लेके बैठेंगे कि ये मथुरा है, ये काशी है, उसके बाद 30,000 मसाजिद, तो हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं सर? कब तक ये तमाशे चलते रहेंगे? कब तक है सो मुसलमान को है सो टारगेट बनाते रहेंगे? अरे हिंदू खतरे में, हिंदू खतरे में, कहाँ पे है हिंदू खतरे में? हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब, हमारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब, हमारे होम मिनिस्टर साहब इंडिया के सब हिंदू नहीं। पब्लिक को जो बना रहे ना सर ये लोग, बिल्कुल है सो गलत मैसेज जा रहा हूं से। अभी जो आप ज्ञानवापी का किस्सा लेके बैठे हैं, आप ज्ञानवापी के जो किस्से में आप, ये आसान नहीं है सर।
अच्छा एक बात बताइए, अच्छा एक बात बताइए रशीद जी, आपने बहुत कुछ कहा, मैं बस ये पूछ रहा हूं कि अगर मुसलमान हिंदू का मंदिर लेके बैठे हैं तो वो क्या सही है कि गलत है?
सर उसी जमाने की बात कर रहे हैं सर।
ना मैं आज के जमाने की बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं आज के जमाने की बात कर रहा हूँ।
बिल्कुल, अगर आज के जमाने में अगर कोई ऐसा करता है तो मैं हिंदू भाइयों के साथ।
ठीक है, तो अब आप एक बात बताइए, मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ कि अगर आपको साफ दिखता है कि एक मंदिर के फाउंडेशन के ऊपर मस्जिद बनी है तो आप वहां नमाज अदा, आपकी नमाज वहां अदा होती है?
सर बिल्कुल नहीं होती। आज अगर पार्लियामेंट बना है, अगर मैं एक इशू निकाल के बैठूं कि जो नया पार्लियामेंट बना हुआ है वहां पे आदम अलैहिस्सलाम के खदमात थे, वहां पे हमारा फलाना है, क्या वो नया पार्लियामेंट को हम ऐसे ढा देंगे?
ना देखिए, आप जो आर्गुमेंट ले रहे हैं उस आर्गुमेंट के पास, आर्गुमेंट का बेसिस आपके पास साक्ष्य है तो बात अलग है। मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूं, अगर आपको सामने दिख रहा है कि जो फाउंडेशन मंदिर का है उसके ऊपर मस्जिद नुमा एक स्ट्रक्चर बना है, वहां पर अगर आप नमाज अदा करेंगे तो आपकी नमाज अदा होगी?
सर देखिए सर, उस हमारे 350 साल की बात,
350 साल में मैं आज पूछ रहा हूं कि आपने इस्लाम और मुसलमान का हवाला दिया, तो मैं पूछ रहा हूं अगर आपका ईमान मुसल्लम है, अगर आप इस्लाम को फॉलो करते हैं, तो आप मुझे बताइए कि कुरान पाक में क्या ये मस्जिद ऐसी जगह पर जो किसी और की इबादत की जगह बनाया गया हो, वहां पर क्या आपकी नमाज अदा होगी?
आज की बात अगर बोल रहे हैं तो सर ऐसा कुछ होने वाला है नहीं। आज की बात माशाल्लाह हिंदू भी समझदार है, मुसलमान भी समझदार है। मैं आपसे
पूछ रहा हूं कि किसी
बिल्कुल
नहीं होगी तो अगर आपको वहां सामने दिख रहा है कि भाई आज सही 200 साल पहले सही या 100 साल पहले सही, जो जगह पहले मंदिर थी उसके ऊपर कभी मस्जिद बनाई है, तो वहां अगर आपकी नमाज नहीं अदा होगी तो वो मंदिर है कि वो मस्जिद है? आप मुझे ये बताइए।
सर बिल्कुल है सो, आप यही बात है सो बाबरी मस्जिद के भी बारे में चली, बाबरी मस्जिद के भी बारे में
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने खुद कहा सर, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने खुद कहा कि अगर जो जगह अगर वहां पर मंदिर के साक्ष्य मिलते हैं और उसके ऊपर अगर मस्जिद बनी रहती है या कुछ भी बना रहता है तो वो अन इस्लामिक है, ऐसा खुद इस्लाम के स्क्रिप्चर्स में, टेक्स्ट में कहा गया है। मैं आपको यह कह रहा हूं कि आपने अभी क्या कहा, ज्ञानवापी का अरबी, फारसी या इस्लाम से कोई ताल्लुक है? ज्ञानवापी तो संस्कृत शब्द है, उसका मतलब क्या है?
बिल्कुल सर, ये जितना भी है संस्कृत में पहले चलते रहता।
मैं आपको ये पूछ रहा हूं ज्ञानवापी का मतलब मालूम है आपको सर?
मैं बताना चाह रहा हूं सर आपको,
ज्ञानवापी का मतलब आप ज्ञानवापी का मतलब जानते हैं? मैं बड़े रिस्पेक्ट से आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि ज्ञानवापी का मतलब क्या है? ज्ञान का मतलब है नॉलेज, नॉलेज, ठीक है। वापी का मतलब है वेल सर, कुआं, तो ज्ञान का कुआं है। ज्ञान का कुआं का इस्लाम से कोई ताल्लुक है सर? तो वहां का मस्जिद कैसे हो गया ज्ञानवापी?
नहीं, ज्ञानवापी जो मस्जिद की बात कर रहे हैं, जिसका मतलब आप बता रहे हैं, ज्ञान का मतलब वाकई नॉलेज है, वेल का मत कहा है, मंदिर का है इसमें।
पर मैं वही तो आप उसको, उस जगह को मस्जिद कैसे कह सकते हैं? वहां पर अगर ज्ञानवापी थी, ज्ञानवापी यानी ज्ञान का कुआं था, उसका तो इस्लाम से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, वो तो हिंदुओं से लेना देना, हिंदू फेथ से लेना देना है ना उसका। आप तो नाम से ही समझ रहे हैं कि ये जगह हिंदू थी। अब जो जगह हिंदू थी या जिसका नेचर, कैरेक्टर हिंदू था, उसके ऊपर अगर कोई अगर उस मंदिर को तोड़ के वहां मस्जिद बनाता है, तो क्या आज आजादी के 75 साल बाद क्या मुसलमान, भारत के मुसलमान ये कह सकते हैं? उनका ईमान भी उसकी इजाजत नहीं देना चाहिए, और जो सेक्युलर होने का हवाला आपने दिया वो भी आपको इजाजत नहीं देना चाहिए कि आप वहां पर अभी भी उसको कंसिडर करें कि वो मस्जिद है, क्योंकि वो तो है ही नहीं सर।
नहीं सर,
आर्ग्यूमेंट तो ये है। और इसी चीज को अगर साइंटिफिक तरीके से प्रूव करने की बात की जाए तो उसको भी रोक रहे हैं। ये दूसरी बात। तीसरी बात सर, वर्शिप तो इस्लाम में है ही नहीं। इस्लाम में तो सिर्फ प्रेयर है। वर्शिप तो वो लोग करते हैं जो बुद्ध को मानते हैं, क्योंकि बुद्ध उनके लिए डेटी है, और तो वो हिंदू है, जैन है, बुद्धिस्ट है। तो अगर किसी एक्ट को वर्शिप एक्ट कहा जाता है, उसको ही आपको अपोज करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये वर्ड वर्शिप ही गलत है। इस्लाम में तो वर्शिप होता ही नहीं, इस्लाम में तो सिर्फ प्रेयर होता है।
नहीं सर, क्या करेंगे? 1947 का जजमेंट जो जू का तू जो है वो हटा देंगे। और आप
सर 1991 में जो कानून बना, वो कानून में भी कानून का नाम भी गलत। नहीं सर, वो कानून का नाम ही गलत है। नहीं सर, वो कानून का नाम गलत है, उसको बदलना चाहिए कि नहीं बदलना चाहिए। दूसरी बात सर, दूसरी बात रशीद भाई, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं, जम्मू कश्मीर भारत का अंग है कि नहीं है?
बिल्कुल है।
बिल्कुल है ना। लद्दाख भारत का अंग है कि नहीं है?
अरे सर बिल्कुल
है। तो फिर इस एक्ट में जम्मू कश्मीर को अलग रखा है सर, तो फिर ये एक्ट पूरी तरह से डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी हुआ कि नहीं?
सर हम तो जम्मू कश्मीर में हमारा ये बोलते हैं, लद्दाख हमारा है।
तो फिर इस एक्ट में से जम्मू कश्मीर को अलग क्यों रखा है सर? ये एक्ट को पढ़िए, ये एक्ट में जम्मू कश्मीर इसका हिस्सा ही नहीं है। तो फिर से इसको बदलना चाहिए कि नहीं बदलना चाहिए?
आप देखिए।
और जम्मू कश्मीर में जो भी जिस भी इमारत का जो भी रिलीजियस कैरेक्टर था, चाहे वो मंदिर हो, मस्जिद हो, गिरजाघर हो, वो वैसे का वैसा होना चाहिए कि नहीं? 15 अगस्त 1947 को जो भी था।
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर।
अरे अब नीरज यात्री जी, अभी अचानक उनको आवाज नहीं आ रही है। Am I asking the wrong question, sir?
नहीं सर, बिल्कुल। देखिए, आप इस तरीके से कश्मीर को, जहां पे मुस्लिम है, आबादी ज्यादा है,
सर नो सर, ना। अभी तो आपने भारत का हवाला दिया। राइट नाउ यू सेड इंडिया, राइट नाउ यू सेड सेक्युलर। हाउ इज इट दैट जहां मुसलमानों की आबादी ज्यादा होगी वहां ये एक्ट अप्लाई नहीं होगा? व्हाई? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एन आर्ग्यूमेंट इज दैट? And sir, namaz, prayer or salah is not equal to worship. Then that is also a problem. Jammu and Kashmir, temples have been desecrated and this has been claimed by erstwhile governments. So as per the Places of Worship Act, 15th August 1947, jo jaisa tha, it should be restored. And if Jammu and Kashmir is exempt, then it's discriminatory. It's against the secular fabric. It's against the constitutional framework. Are these fair questions or unfair questions? Neeraj Atri, please tell me.
Anandji, the questions are absolutely fair, but I think you must be a little kind to him. You are asking questions which are out of syllabus for him, and you are trapping him there. Now, when we come to these things, the points that he was just making, one is he said कि मस्जिद को शहीद कर दिया गया. Now, shaheed is something which is associated with living objects, right? And they claim that अगर आप मूर्ति को पूजते हो तो आप बुत परस्ती करते हो, एंड जब अपनी बारी आती है तो इनके लिए मस्जिद एक जो बिल्डिंग होती है वो भी शहीद हो जाती है, बिकॉज दैट इज हाउ दिस विक्टिम नैरेटिव वर्क्स. सेकेंडली व्हाट ही सेड इज कि वो खुदा का घर. नाउ खुदा का घर, दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज नॉट देयर इन इस्लाम. जो मस्जिद है दैट इज जस्ट अ प्लेस फॉर कॉन्ग्रेगेशन. जैसा आपने भी बोला कि वहां पर आप नमाज करते हैं, सलात करते हैं, लेकिन वहां आप ये नहीं बोलते कि अल्लाह की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा तो कभी हुई नहीं वहां पर. जबकि कोई भी जब मंदिर बनता है, जैसे अभी हरिशंकर जैन जी बोल रहे थे दैट वंस अ टेम्पल इज ऑलवेज अ टेम्पल बिकॉज देयर अ प्रॉपर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हैज बीन डन ऑफ द डेटी, एंड सिंस दैट इज द रेजिडेंस ऑफ डेटी इट इज इनवॉयलेबल. ऑन द अदर हैंड, व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ अ मॉस्क, it is just a place where Muslims congregate to pray. It is not worship, as you rightly mentioned. So your questions are absolutely valid. Moreover, in most of the Islamic countries, what has been happening is, since they very clearly agree that it is just a congregation place, whenever a mosque has to be shifted, it may be due to a mundane reason, just like creating a highway over there. Mosques are very regularly transported from one place to another. And the best example is the mosque in which Muhammad, the Prophet himself, used to pray was shifted from Mecca. So if all these examples are there with us, then they should not, in fact, they should not be arguing for this. As you rightly mentioned, it is absolutely clear that it is a structure which has been built over a temple. So since it is absolutely clear, it is visible there, तो जिसे बार बार बोलते हैं कि गंगा जमुनी तहजीब है, तो थोड़ी सी वो तहजीब दिखाओ, और वो जो मंदिर हमें दिखाई दे रहा है, पहले किसी ने गलती कर दी होगी अब वो हमें दीजिए, हमारे आराध्य का घर है, तो वहां पर खुशी खुशी अपने पूजा पाठ जो कर सकते हैं। लेकिन अच्छा, दूसरी चीज जो इन्होंने बोली कि हिंदू खतरे में की बात करते हैं, तो विच इज इनका क्लेम है कि वो बिल्कुल नॉनसेंसिकल बात है। ऑल्दो अगर आप डेमोग्राफिकली देखें और ज्योग्राफिकली देखें तो जो हिंदू प्लेसेस हैं वो दिन प्रतिदिन कम होती जा रही है। और आपकी बातों से ही हिमसेल्फ अभी उन्होंने, मे बी इट वाज अ फ्राइडन टंग ऑफ स्लिप ऑफ टंग, कि व्हेन ही इज सेइंग कि जम्मू और कश्मीर में नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि वो तो मुस्लिम मेजोरिटी है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड अ फ्राइडियन स्लिप, जहां पर पता लगता है कि दे आर टॉकिंग ऑफ द इस्लामिक हेजेमनी ऑफ द सुप्रीमेसिस्ट एटीट्यूड व्हिच दे आर पोजेसिंग, कि वंस वी हैव टेकन कंट्रोल ऑफ अ ज्योग्राफिकल प्लेस, देन वी आर गोइंग टू डिक्टेट कि वहां पर किस तरह के जो वर्शिप के स्ट्रक्चर्स होने चाहिए। तो द कमिंग बैक टू योर बेसिक क्वेश्चन, कि आर दीज क्वेश्चंस इनवैलिड? They are questions absolutely valid. You just give him some breathing space and let him
No,
think
it's not
out
about
these
breathing space. It's the hypocrisy that stands out. Atikur Rahman ji is also there. But the point is that the demand is for what? The demand is for places where there is clear evidence that these were temples. And there, when even the tenets of Islam don't allow you prayer, why this adamance that we will not let go? We will not allow Hindus their right to pray. That's where the other thing is that the Places of Worship Act itself, the way it's been worded and it's drafted, is one, lopsided, and two, has its own holes that need to be punched. Now, please, Atikur Rahman ji, Jammu and Kashmir is excluded, religious character properly not defined, the word worship is being equated, and it's being equated to religions and faiths which do not have worship as a principle at all.
Anand, there is no point beating around the bush. With full regards to Hari Shankar Jain ji, sir, you are conveniently not mentioning the word as it stood in 1947. But apart from that, Anand, I will be quoting two authorities on this point. And even the Masjid Intizamiya Committee in Gyanvapi case and in the Mathura case, the Muslim side, they are not saying that temple was not demolished and the usurpers in the 16th and the 17th centuries never, demolished a temple. The basic argument the Muslim side is having is, as Faizan Mustafa Sahab, the constitutionalist, and historian Irfan Habib Sahab, they have accepted that Aurangzeb, the despot, usurped these places. Part of Gyanvapi was demolished. The Kashi Mathura thing, it was demolished, and a mosque was brought upon it. The only argument the Muslim side is arguing with the present day government, which is a pro-Hindutva government, and the spokesperson of the BJP is sitting over here. Since beginning, we are just requesting them, what stops them in repealing or amending, as your hashtag says, time to rethink about the 1991 Places of Worship Act. Why are they playing with the whims and fancies of the people of India? The two major communities are at loggerheads because of that simple blunder, not amending or repealing the 1991 Places of Worship Act. I completely respect the Hindu faith. I completely accept on your program that the usurpers, the Mughals and the Muslim rulers did, the usurp Gyanvapi also and Kashi Mathura also. But I will not go into the details of the Babri Masjid and the Ayodhya. The judgment has been delivered. We will be sticking to our argument why the government is playing this fraud on the people of India.
One of the aspects, Atikur Rahman ji, really respect what you're saying. We wish so many more people had said this, because the settlement would have been so much more peaceful. Islam would have only risen in stature because it upholds its own tenets. And of course, this entire aspect of bhaichara within all Bharatiya would have been underlined and established. That's a common belief that a lot of people had, that there is no need to take it into a legal fight and to even scientifically prove what is visible to the naked eye. But a question that you have asked right now is to the BJP, and let Anila Singh respond, that you could have done this, why didn't you do it? You could have repealed the act. You could have made sure that this injustice is done. Why does this act of parliament in 1991, which was done in haste, why does it still remain?
My Charan Sparsh to Hari Shankar Jain ji and Ram Ram to all. And I thank Mr. Rahman that he has shown his will that this act should be repealed, and I respect that, and I take that not only yours but your community's wish is this, that this act should be repealed, and I totally endorse your thought process, your wish, and I really hope, and I'm pretty sure any political party which can repeal this act is Bharatiya Janata Party. We very well know that how this act came. We know it very well that war to get back Ramlala Mandir space and get the temple constructed was on, and we know that in 1990 Advani ji's Rath Yatra was also just to please under the policy of appeasement thing that they brought this act, and this is so I will say a cruel act towards Hindus, towards Sanatanis. This country was divided not on the linguistic basis or any other basis. The base was religion. So when we got this country, then also we keep on fighting that this is the place for our Devi Devtas. Please give it back. Please give it back. This is what Hindus are doing. This is utter drama. This is the only example in whole of the world where majority population, which was given this nation, this country, that this is yours, and we are making Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and we are going to practice our faith in that nation. And just see the irony. And this country, which was given to us, like to Hindus, here we keep on pleading, we keep on fighting in courts that this is the place of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, Bhagwan Shri Ram, Mahadev ji.
My point is,
but they are not ready to listen.
My point is, it's nice that Atikur Rahman has taken a position, but has the government under Yogi Adityanath taken a position? Has the UP government filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court or urged the government to think about repealing Places of Worship Act 1991? Is it a plaintiff? Has it filed a petition?
One thing here very clearly.
In the last 9 years under the current government, how many MPs from Uttar Pradesh have actually moved a motion in Parliament saying that this act must be repealed? And that there should be a consideration that this act must be repealed? No,
Anand.
No, ma'am.
I heard your question.
Yes, please. Yes.
I very well understand what you want to ask me. I just have to tell you one thing here. Rather, I'll say a couple of things here. If you talk about the political party, if you talk about my political party, Bharatiya Janata Party, you are asking me that how many MPs, how many MLAs, they have proceeded towards court and they have said that this act should
pass
be
a legislation. How many MPs have moved and had made a representation to the centre that reconsider this legislation?
You on my face and I am ready to take it and I am answering you. But let me complete. Let me complete. I am not going to mince my words. I am not that type of person. But I can say it very clearly कि अगर भारतवर्ष में कोई भी राजनीतिक दल ऐसा है जिसने बिल्कुल स्पष्ट शब्दों में अपने मैनिफेस्टो में भी लिखा है, वो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी। तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति नहीं करते हैं हम, आस्था का सम्मान करते हैं। जितना आस्था का सम्मान अगर हो रहा है उत्तर प्रदेश में हो रहा है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के टेन्योर में अभी हो रहा है। आप काशी विश्वनाथ में देख लीजिए, अयोध्या को देख लीजिए, मिर्जापुर में देख लीजिए, आप मथुरा में भी देख लीजिए, कहाँ नहीं हो रहा है। ये समाजवादी पार्टी करती थी या बीएसपी करती थी या कांग्रेस करती थी, नहीं करती थी ना।
Anila ji, I'm just simply asking, in the last 7 years of the BJP rule under UP, under Mahant Yogi Adityanath, on the other hand, in the last 9 years under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, how many members of parliament from Uttar Pradesh have raised the issue of the Places of Worship Act 1991 and the need to repeal it? And after the abrogation of Article 370, after that also, how many people have raised this issue that Jammu and Kashmir needs to be included? And even if 15th August 1947 is a contested date, all institutions, all structures in Jammu and Kashmir and in Ladakh should be restored to as they were on 15th of August 1947. Abrogation of Article 370 भी 4 साल हो गए हैं। कोर्ट का भी फैसला आ गया है. I am just asking this question that you have two
I
people.
can assure you one thing here, Anand, the only political party, the only government under Narendra Modi ji is going to take the step that he is going to assure, and in a very solid way, he is going to assure that Jammu Kashmir becomes the integral part in every way.
Ma'am,
of Bharat.
yeah, Hari Shankar, Hari Shankar Jain ji also wants to come. Hari Shankar Jain ji, no, simple aspect. No, ma'am, there are core legislations that have been changed. Right now, as we speak in Parliament, the entire Nyaya Sanhita, Suraksha Sanhita and the Sakshya Sanhita, all of them are being changed. Everything is being changed. I am asking you, this draconian act which was passed in haste has escaped the attention of more than 60 MPs of Uttar Pradesh, of the entire Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly and the Uttar Pradesh government.
कुछ escape नहीं हुआ है, कुछ escape नहीं हुआ है. Let me tell you,
नहीं, okay. So then why is it that the plaintiffs are fighting on Tariq pe Tariq on the one hand, and the defendants on the other hand are justifying and giving the hawala of the Places of Worship Act 1991? What's the centre's representation or presentation to the Honorable Supreme Court where the POW Act 1991 has been challenged? Hari Shankar Jain ji.
I have filed a petition 2020, that was the first petition, challenging the POW Act on number of grounds. Even Parliament has no power to enact that law. It is not a question, simple sitter. The question is how you can restrain the persons from approaching the court. And I was sure that the present government will repeal the law. And I take all the endeavors and I requested to repeal the law. In the writ petition, no counter affidavit has been filed till date. But I will thanks to Mr. Atikur Rahman, who has frankly admitted today that Kashi and Mathura, at both the places there where temples were demolished. Number one. And he has rightly said that Parliament should have repealed the law. That draconian law should have been repealed by now. It is creating havoc in the public. And kindly consider, the law is not only the simple siddhaki, it is very bad, not bad. It is injustice with the masses. When you say that what was 15 August 1957, how it will can be maintained? Meaning thereby, the Parliament at that time, they validated the injustice done to the Hindus, to the masses. And as a voter, we will never accept this law, and we will vote for the party who promises in the next session to repeal the law. This is our endeavor. That whosoever repeals the law,
see,
we will
the fact
vote
is,
for that
what
party.
is religious
Not only
character?
that,
Original religious character, how is it defined?
Verb also. Yes.
Original religious character has not been defined. The word worship has been used for religions that don't practice worship. The entire Rimbu keeping Jammu and Kashmir out of the ambit itself is discriminatory. Erstwhile state of Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, it's bad in law. Thirdly, the Parliament. Fourthly, the Parliament should not have passed this law which has been passed, and it's not been challenged at all. It is the way it's been worded itself, it questions its maintainability. Despite all these aspects, this has been the one tool that's been challenged time and again. To the lady and the gentleman, I have run out of time. We'll continue this conversation going forward in the coming days. I thank you all for joining us. Namaste. Thank you very much.